Okay, so let's get started. Welcome to Paid Advertising in a Nutshell, everything you need to know about online advertising at your fingertips. My name is Adrian Hallberg. I'm just going to introduce myself real quick and then we can get started. So, I call myself a savvy growth wizard, and I helped one company that never did more than $80,000 a year from marketing generated revenue to $2.2 million actually in 2021 from marketing generated revenue, and we did that with a 9-to-1 ROI. So for every $1 of the businesses I spent, I would bring in $9 through, different marketing methods, strategies, tactics, strategy overall, and just building a marketing engine. So, I planned and managed, social media accounts over 12 plus B2B and B2C businesses, and have done I spent over $200,000 just on Facebook ads alone, as well as another $120,000 in Google ads, which, depending on the business and the brand, can be a lot or not so much, right? So, and I was able to get that return on investment while spending that money on advertising. So I grew some Instagram accounts from 0 to over 10K, at least over a dozen of them. So just some quick stats there. So what we're going to cover today is, what is paid advertising, some definitions, the main advertising mediums, the 3 pillars of paid advertising: planning and budgeting your ads, and then what KPIs to track, key performance indicators for paid advertising, to make sure that you're actually getting traction with your paid efforts. So let's just get right into part one. What is paid advertising? So digital advertising is really just that. It's a digital way to advertise, and there's a lot of methods, mediums, and channels to do so. So it's a way to get products, services, a brand, as a whole, all of those things together in front of new customers online, or to capture maybe lost customers in a retargeting ad, which we'll get to later. So ads can look like images, short or long video clips, or just text, or in a lot of cases, depending on the placement and channel, a combination of all those things. So these ads come to customers through a variety of channels. Uh, uh, through different websites, search engine results like in Google search, um, and videos like on YouTube. But they all attempt to do the same thing, and that's increase awareness. Um, so we'll get to different types of advertising as well. So why you should use paid advertising: it's an excellent addition to any marketing strategy and engine to help fuel growth for any business, even on a small scale and small budget. You can target, your ideal customer profile, who your perfect customer will be. You can target them. They exist digitally. They're using a computer. They're using their phone. They're using social media and search engines. So you can control that audience and who sees your ads. You can easily turn them off and on. You can scale them up and down, control those budgets. So, depending on how they're working, how many people your business is bringing in, maybe it's too much, so you can bring them down, turn them off, things like that. It's flexible in that way. They're relatively predictable. So once you set up, your campaigns on different channels, they perform at a certain level, that performance will pretty much be consistent. So if they're not performing well, then you need to investigate some specific strategies on that particular channel to make sure they're getting to a place that are not only profitable, but then you can scale them and optimize over time. All right, so let's take a look at the main advertising mediums. So advertising as a whole hasn't changed all that much over the years. Different platforms have come into been used, like TikTok for B2C. Paid ads is a good new platform, whereas before that, Instagram and Facebook ads, which are still the top, number one social platform, but those have been the space. So as you can see here, we have our major players. So on the left, we have our social media: LinkedIn, we have our Instagram, Pandora, Amazon, We have our Facebook. You can even advertise on Hulu, Google, and Spotify, YouTube, and Bing. So if you were to cover all these channels, depending on your business and your brand, you'd be able to capture your audience and their attention across channels and across platforms. So I just named all of them. And when it comes to paid advertising, intent is very important. So when you decide where to put your ads on all those platforms, you need to think where your customer's intent is and you know what your ideal customer uses and your audience. If you're a B2C that targets, you know, maybe 18 to 25 year olds, then TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you know, YouTube. If you're maybe targeting an older audience, or maybe depending on the products or services you sell, LinkedIn can be great for more B2B service type businesses. So just have to, you know, it depends. So passive entertainment, you know, radio, Spotify, Pandora, does your audience listen to them? Active entertainment, TV, YouTube, Hulu, Netflix. Passive inspiration, newspaper. So this is your Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Twitter could also be in there. That one actually wasn't listed here, but Twitter is also a big one. And then active research. This has 10 active research, like search engines, Google, Bing, Amazon. They tend to have uh, higher conversion rates because people are actively searching for a solution, and then they see your ad, they click through, so they're more compelled to take action and actually convert. So understanding your customer's intent will help you better decide like where the pattern interrupt should be. This is paid advertising is a pattern interrupt, and thus where your money is best spent. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So part 3, the 3 pillars of paid ads. So paid media breaks down into 3 core elements: the offer, the audience, and the creative. Any ad will have those 3 pillars. If you do them well, you're just off to the races with a good optimized ad. So let's start with the offer. So typically, you know, out of the paid ad manager's control, it's important that they have a thorough understanding of it. So if you're doing your paid ads and you're the business owner, you should understand this. If somebody else is doing your ads, they should understand this. So you need to know what is the core offer, what are the different entry point offers. So these are the entry point offers, meaning you don't, if you have multiple kind of product services or products, you don't want to jump straight to your core offer. In a lot of cases, sometimes you do, but it's if you want the highest conversion rate as far as and the biggest conversion for how much you're spending or return on ad spend, ROAS, then having a entry level small offer, maybe it can be an opt-in, gated opt-in piece of content even. You'll get a higher conversion rate, and then you can lead through your nurturing campaign to that core offer. So what are the different entry point offers? Yeah, just went into detail there. What are the logical upsells from the entry point offer to the core offer? So this is your offer, and you can break it down into, you know, core, entry point, and upsells, cross sells to get to that where you want to be, right? And you can use advertising to support this kind of offer workflow. So the audience is the group of people you will target for your, you know, where your ads are for. You need to know the right audience so you can use the proper targeting settings when building ads. So you need to know, what does your ideal customer look like? Demographic information, age, income, level, title, etc. And I have this great workflow document to help you build, you know, your ideal customer profile as well as your persona. You really want to get granular. The more you know, and you want to create your avatar of a person, make them as real as possible. So when you're creating your creative, when you're building your audience settings, it just, you know exactly what levers, what text to use to really target and hone in on that person. So get as specific as you can. Ideal customer profile and your buyer personas are 2 different kind of customer information to understand them. So build those out. Yeah, what is your ideal customer interested in? Books, TV, other companies, etc. Hobbies can be a great one. What are the pain points or problems that your ideal customer has that will be solved by your offer or product? So what are their pain points, and what are your solutions with your products and services? And what is your ideal customer hoping to achieve? So their after state, where if they were to um, get the benefits of your products and services you're selling, then where would that put them in that after state if they had that benefit? So that leads straight into the creative. The creative is the images, the messaging, your copy, the text, what the prospect sees, and it's essentially the ad itself. So you need to know how can you use storytelling and imagery to invoke a reaction or a connection with your ideal customer. How can you explain or show your product in a way that captures attention? And what important information should you share about your product or service to set a great first impression? And how can you connect your audience to your product and service in a meaningful way? So this one is important, this last one as well. So how do you connect your audience to your product or service? And you do that by storytelling, imagery, explain or show the product in a way that captures their attention, and important information like benefits. Focus on benefit to create that good first impression. So keep all these points in mind. Maybe when you're creating your creative, you come back to the slide, just look at it. That way you have that in mind when you're going through it. So part 4, planning and budgeting. So you can plug paid advertising into every part of the funnel. So top of the funnel, making people aware of your brand. They don't know you at all. Oh, they become aware of it by usually impressions. They see your ad, it's in their mind, they see your messaging, they spend some time on it, they move on, right? Middle of the funnel, showing people how your products can solve their problems. So this is where they see your ad, they click through to your ad, or maybe they just engage with your ad. Maybe they watch your video, read your text, they learn more about and this can mean a lot of things depending on your funnel and your whole strategy. Middle of the funnel can look different ways. A lot of cases, middle of the funnels where prospect will actually click through to the landing page, to the website, right? And then bottom of the funnel is encouraging that ideal customer to buy. So this is where they're actually on the checkout page or a quote form, or a quote form would be the middle of the funnel, or some kind of form conversion, but where they engage with maybe your salesperson or check out online, whatever that looks like, that's bottom of the funnel. So this is a very basic look at what a funnel is. I have another video in my Skillshare training here, or if you're viewing this on my website, then you can, click. I'll share my Skillshare link. You can get there anyway. I have a lot of training that expands on funnels further and landing pages, so you have to check out. This is just a quick basic intro to that. So understanding the funnel, your customer's goals, your customer's goals. Yeah. So, top of the funnel, what are their goals? They're aware that a problem exists and they're interested. Here you can, entertain them, keep them excited, keep them engaged. Middle of the funnel, they become aware of the problem they may have, passively learning more about what solutions are out there. Bottom of the funnel, they actively search for a solution to their problem. So in relation to their goals, this is what a funnel would look like. So when you're planning your strategy and you're building out your ads for each stage in the funnel, you want to make sure you're aligning those ads to the customer's needs at that stage. So depending on where they are in this funnel, the ad speaks to that, right? That's the important part about understanding their goals in each stage of the funnel: top, middle, bottom. So try to put your ads on mediums platforms where your target market hangs out. Kind of talked on that a little bit. Create a variety of different top of funnel ads to constantly be testing new creative. Depending on the platform, if you have, it's a good idea at the top of the funnel to have multiple creatives, so multiple images with text, because a prospect will see different ads related to your brand. So for example, if you're on Facebook advertising, Facebook ads platform, or Instagram ads platform through Facebook, you can create several creatives within one campaign, and then a prospect is more likely to see your ad multiple times, rather than, they won't usually see the same ad over and over, but they'll see different creative. So you can expand that awareness by having multiple creative, um, and then create a variety of different top of funnel ads. That way you can test them too. If you have 4 different creatives you can see under the same audience and the same campaign, and everything else in the campaign is the same, then you can test those creatives. So sorry, my text is cut off here. I don't know why but great paid ad strategy comes down to showing the right person the right offer. So planning your budget before you spend. You need to have tracking definitely in place, so you can optimize your budget along the way. Each campaign needs to have a single goal and KPI. So whether that's a conversion, which can be filling out a form, or purchasing a product, every campaign has that one goal. And when you set up your campaign, it'll ask you, what your goal is. Maybe your goal is a video view, a follow, a subscription, a purchase, whatever that is. That's your main KPI to track the real performance, so you're getting your money's worth from that ad. Um, Ideally, you want your return on ad spend to be a ratio of about 4 to 1. That helps. That's just a baseline of profitability, because most product businesses shoot for a 50% profit margin, on products, or greater. But usually, if you're dipping below 40 or 50% profit, then you're dipping into your business expenses, just start eating that up, right? So 4 to 1 is pretty safe. I achieved a 9 to 1 return on ad spend before, which is really, really good, and had an average of 6 to 1 ROI over the course of the year in 2021. So, but your goal to start 4 to 1. If it's less than that, then you're usually losing money, depending on your business model. Some services business models, they're willing to spend thousands of dollars just for one qualified lead, because if that qualified lead turns into a customer, it could turn into $100,000. It just depends on that business model and what the margin is for the services. So here we go. Top of the funnel, 80% of your budget will go here. This is just to expand the awareness. 20% of the budget will go to the middle of the funnel, and 10% of the budget will go to the bottom of the funnel. So different ads, different campaigns for these different stages of the funnel. So most of your budget will go to the top of the funnel. So that's just about creating awareness. The middle and the bottom of the funnel should stay pretty low, as most of the budget will go towards, plugging a leaky funnel with retargeting. I kind of spoke on that earlier, but if somebody engages with you through your funnel and then leaves, doesn't engage with your emails, doesn't get to the next step, you can retarget them, and that would be the middle of the funnel. So you have a budget there. And then, the key to great ad spending is to allocate your budget to ads that perform well. That's why testing is important, and constantly test new ads to see if they perform better. Being an ad manager is a lot like being a scientist, where you're always testing. And coming back to that real quick, a successful A/B test is you're testing one element at a time. If you change a ton of things every single time, you're not going to get anywhere. So keep that in mind. You don't want to make a lot of changes. Keep your certain elements of your campaign exactly the same. Maybe just change a creative, tweak different things here and there. As it performs better, that is the winner, and then keep going. So part 5, paid advertising KPIs. So media KPIs, cost per 1,000 impressions. So this is top of the funnel. Cost per view, click-through rate, the rate of which someone sees your ad and then clicks through on the ad. Cost per click is an important one. How much does it cost for someone to click on your ad? cost per lead. If that's your goal is to get a lead, then how much does it cost to actually get that lead? Or another, this could also be a cost per conversion, cost per acquisition, cost per order. So if you're selling a product online, and then your return on ad spend, your ROAS. So ROAS is usually tied to online stores, shopping carts. If someone checks out, they purchase a product that costs $20, and you spent $10 to get that um, order, then your return on ad spend is $10, right? You spend 10, you make 20, but your return is $10. So those are the media KPIs. Those are all very common offer KPIs. So your bounce rate, page load time, um, conversion rate. So this is more related to your funnel, but ads are pushing traffic there. So it's important to keep an eye on these KPIs so you know if your funnel is leaking. Um, yeah, so that is it for now. That is an intro to a lot about um, paid advertising. So hopefully that gets you in the right mindset, helps you learn a lot about how to get started with the proper, approach just to begin with. A lot of people will start paid advertising and then they just end up losing a lot of money because they're not understanding a lot of these key elements that help them build just a better strategy. So I hope that helps. I'll have more videos and training either in this training or in another course on my Skillshare profiles where we dive deeper into social media examples, and I'll actually create some campaigns on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google. So either yeah, I most likely will be another training video on my on my Skillshare profile. So if you're interested to actually see hands-on creating campaigns, creating creatives, things like that, and applying a lot of these strategies, then go check out that training. But this is an intro to help you get started. So I hope that helps. Give it a rating, like it if it helped you. And thanks for your time. I hope to see you in another training in the future.